Welcome to episode 80 of the Epilogue Lady podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as ArcticCrafts, on Facebook and Etsy as ArcticCrafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as ArcticCrafts65. And Seversnape is already at it. I also have a group on Ravelry where you can take part in make-alongs and the occasional giveaway. And before Seversnape so rudely interrupted me, I was going to remind you of the Arctic Summer of Socks. That's on its way or it's running. It started June 1st and it's running until August 31st. And I have loads of nice prizes, and if you want to see them, you should check out my latest episode 79, where I showed you all the prizes. And there's lots of gorgeous socks in the chat already. Sorry, I got so distracted. I can't be bothered starting all over again. It's too hot to think. For you people, this is temperate, not hot, but to me, anything over 22 degrees Celsius, centigrade, is hot. And it doesn't drop below 20 in the night either, so it's too hot to sleep. So basically, I'm sort of, I've got more brain fog than usual today. But today is a good day because hubby is coming home. I'm picking him up at the airport this afternoon, and I wanted to get this recorded, edited and uploaded before I pick him up. So not in a rush as such, but I want just to get this out of the way. I've been busy. I made myself busy while he was away to cope better with being alone, and the Halloween advents are on their way. I haven't shipped out the ones that are going, the domestic ones yet, because that only takes a maximum of 1 week, maybe 2 weeks before they reach the people that's going to get them, and it's a bit early getting your Halloween advent in July, basically. So I'm hanging on to those for a little bit longer before I send them out. The Christmas advents are also finished. I've dyed them already. So I forgot something in my opening spiel. I forgot to mention the Ko-fi page. Every little bit matters when it comes to shipping out prices, and I'm going to ship out some prices at the end of August, and every little bit helps. And when it comes to live stuff, not much has happened. Hubby's been away the last week, as I've talked about before. He's been visiting his family, and I haven't been dyeing while he was away. I was planning on doing that, but I decided on shipping out the Halloween advents instead. And because it's so hot, I haven't been going for long walks. I've tried to do it in the evenings when it's cooled down a little bit. But I'm not keen on summer, to be honest with you, because of the temperatures. It's a little bit better now that I've lost the weight. I cope better with the heat. I've figured that out this summer, because even now when it's this hot, it could be because we've got air conditioning. We got air conditioning this spring, so we would have it before the season started, and it's doing a world of good. And if you hear it in the background, I'll put it at the lowest setting while I'm recording to not have too much noise. So hopefully you can't hear the AC. And still distracted by several snake. I can see him from here. And he looks like he's he looks like he's up to no good, so I have to keep an eye on him. And the festival that I'm vending at started today, and it's going on until next Saturday. And the 2 last days are always the days where they have the market. So next weekend I'm vending at the local market, and that means next weekend my Etsy shop will be closed. And that, as I always say, if there's something in my shop that you've had your eye on and that you would like, you should get it this week, because next weekend somebody else might like it, and then it won't come back to the shop after the market. So that's it. Maybe we should talk about knitting. As you can tell, I'm not wearing knitting today. It's too hot, even for knitted t-shirts in cotton. It's too hot. So, but I've been knitting. Because of the AC, I can actually knit on bigger projects in summer. And one big project that I've been knitting on, I've cast on and finished since I saw you last, because it took me 3 days. And it's a pattern that my bestie Sue gifted me. It's the Salty Air Tea by Samantha Guerin. Not sure how you pronounce your last name. I'm really sorry if I butchered it. This has quite a lot of positive ease. I think it's got more positive ease than it's supposed to, but I like the way it fits me anyway. I'll put up a picture of what it looks like on. The yarn is a really soft pink, and it's my peony colorway, and the yarn is 100% merino fingering. And I was thinking about adding long sleeves to it, so I could wear it, because I'm not sure I'm going to wear a short sleeved sweater, in a wool sweater, that much, because I've knit myself some rocket tees as well. And if it's t-shirt weather, it's sort of too hot to wear a wool t-shirt. I'll try to wear my rocket tees, but I'm not sure. So I was thinking about doing long sleeves on this one, but then I used precisely 2 skeins for this. I had just a tiny little nugget left of yarn, and because this is yarn from my shop, I can't afford to use more of it myself, I figured. And because I'm not sure I'm going to wear it, even though I knit it with 3/4 sleeves, I'm going to need another skein, and so I'm thinking sample first and foremost. So this is coming with me to the market as a sample for this yarn. So that's the Salty Air Tea. I've knitted to pattern, and I love the way it fits me, even though it's got loads of positive ease. It's really comfortable to wear. So I'll hopefully be able to wear it at some point. I'm probably going to wear it in winter over long sleeve t-shirts. That's probably what's going to happen. And that's my only FO. I know. I only have one sweater finished. I have to reach out for my coffee. I should be drinking iced coffee when it's this hot. But hot coffee works. As long as it's caffeinated, anything works. So what I have left are whips. And one of them is a new whip. We'll start with the smallest one first. I showed you this. This is the Heel Toe Dozy Do by the Crazy Sock Lady. In the Ice Climber by Asfaltsflickan is the yarn. Self-striping from Sweden. And this is how far I've gotten on the second sock. And this is sort of my TV knitting. And I haven't watched lots of TV while hubby's been away. I watched some knitting podcasts and loads of documentaries. But I've cast on another pair of socks. And this is in the basket made by Sue, Crafty Knit 7. And before I forget, I have an everlasting, it's got no end date at least, Epilogue Lady 20. That's a coupon code you can use in her shop. Epilogue Lady 20, no end date. And her shop is linked down below. My other new cast on, where did I put, there it is. My new cast on is a pair of socks, and it's these. I started the heel flap on these. The socks are, the pattern is Freddy Beach by Nancy Wheeler, and the yarn is Deep Stash. It's by Allison Barnes, and the colorway is Hush. And it's Deep Stash. It's one of the first skeins of hand-dyed yarn I bought, I think. I'm not sure why I haven't used it. So as you can see, I'm on the heel flap. I'm doing the heels slightly different from the pattern. I'm doing the heel from the Hermione's Everyday Socks because that's my favorite heel flap and gusset heel, and because that's the thing about socks. If you have a favorite heel construction, you can put it in any sock pattern. Unless your favorite heel is designed for cuff down socks and you're knitting toe up socks, then you can't use it. Unless you're doing a short row heel that works both ways. That's what I normally do when I knit toe up socks. I use a short row heel. I knit a few toe up socks where I've used the heel from the pattern. Among other, I think it's called the Soul Sister socks. And that heel really fits me really well. So I should knit another pair of Soul Sister socks. And I have the yarn for it as well. So I should do that. Sorry about all the coffee drinking. And that's my sock whips. And then I have a sweater whip. It's in this bag. I forgot to talk about the basket these are in. It's a basket made by one of hubby's colleagues. She collaborated with me for Valentine's this year. I still have one set left from that in the shop. I think I'm going to put it with the Christmas yarn when the time comes because it's gold and red and it works for Christmas as well. So this is, I'll show you the yarn. I can't show you the yarn because it's a mess, because I'm almost used up both the first skeins that I started with. And I dropped some stitches. I'm just going to rescue them before I show you the sweater. There you go. Because this is what the cakes look like. And it's the Spector by Locatelli, and I have to turn it inside out because I'm knitting it inside out now because it's reverse stockinette. So it's always a good thing to knit inside out when you do reverse stockinette patterns. So this is what it looks like. And this is a sweater I can't wait to wear. So this is going to end up in my sweater rotation as soon as the temperatures allow. And this is my main TV knitting because it's really mindless. You just have to keep an eye on your ridges. And I'm knitting this inside out, so it's mainly knits and the occasional purl. So that's Spector by Joji Locatelli, and the yarn is from Canada. It's a sweater quantity hubby bought me in Canada, and Sue was the mule that sent it to me, so I didn't have to pay a lot of VAT. And the yarn is Rose Hill yarns, and the colorway is River Rocks. And this is a sock yarn, but as I always say to my customers as well, you can knit anything with sock yarn. You shouldn't knit socks with yarn that hasn't got nylon or anything else that makes the yarn more durable in it. So that's what I always tell my customers. You can knit sweaters with sock yarn, not a problem. So those are my whips. I haven't got any other whips. Today I think I'm going to knit on my Spector while I'm waiting for this to upload. And then when hubby gets home, we'll probably go for a walk. I'm having dinner before he gets here, because we're in Norway. We're sort of strange. We have early dinners, early for you as well, at least about between 4 and 5 o'clock. We're having dinner, and then we have supper when you have dinner. It's just the way it works. So hubby's coming here later, so I'm having dinner without him, but I've had dinner without hubby for days now, and it's no fun making dinner for one. So it hasn't been a really complicated food, let me tell you. Today I'm actually making myself fish and chips. Hubby doesn't eat fish, so I take advantage of him being away, and I had scampi yesterday, and I'm having fish today. So that's my FOs and my whips, and this could be a really short episode because I haven't got a lot to show you. I have a shop update on Sunday, but I haven't been dyeing a lot. But I'm going to show you something that I got from Sue. She's selling these in her shop, and I think they're brilliant. By the way, we're into show and tell, if you didn't realize. It's these. These are really brilliant. Because if you like me, if you crochet and you use the same hook for several projects, you just clip one of these on your project so you remember what size hook you were using. Same goes for knitting, of course. And she sells these in her shop. I don't think I showed you those when I got them, so I'm a bit late showing you that, but now I've showed it to you. And something, I had some happy mail this week, and it was perfect timing because I was not feeling good because I was home alone. And one thing I got, I'm not showing you. I should maybe show you, but it's not here and it's not fiber related. I got new dice for D&D and a dice tray. And I can't wait for hubby to get home because he promised we're going to have a session this weekend. And the other thing that came was my fiber swap from Echo of the Knitted Bean. And I've been anxiously waiting for this because she got hers from me. couple of weeks ago, I think. And I've been waiting and waiting, and now it came when I needed cheering up, so it was perfect. And it's still in the bag because I wanted to show you this mailer. Look at that. I love slots. So even before I opened this, it was happy mail. And she sent me one thing I knew she was sending me are these, because I wanted to try this yarn. I looked online, I couldn't find it anywhere, and if I found it, it was really expensive because of VAT and everything. I can get Queensland from a Norwegian supplier, but not this space. And I really liked the way it looked, and I love this color. If you can see the color properly, and then she sent me a gray. And these two, there you can see the color properly. These two work together, and I have, how much is it in a ball? It's 350 meters for one ball. So 350 meters for 100 grams. That's some light sport heavy fingering. And I'm going to use these together. So I'm going to look for a project for 2 colors with sport. This may be enough for a vest or a tee or something, because I have 2 balls. I'll see. It could, but I'm thinking maybe a hat. Problem with that is I am going to have loads of yarn left over. But then again, this has both polyester and acrylic in it, so it might be tough enough for socks. And again, then I'm going to have loads left over. So maybe a pair of mittens with a hat that matches. We'll see. But now I can try this yarn. And maybe I'll just pester her to get me a sweater quantity if I really love it. She can be a mule as well, hopefully. And she sent me 2 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. One of them is actually from a European dyer. But I can't afford getting anything, and I have to pay the same VAT from Europe. And it's the undercover otter from the Netherlands. And these colors are so me, and I wanted to cast on socks with this, but I wanted to show it to you first in the skein. So that's why I went stash diving for the Freddy Beach socks. But this is going to be a pair of socks for me, I think. Or maybe I'm going to knit myself a hat in it. Because of the barber pulling, because this is a zebra yarn, I can't put it with other stuff. I think I have to use it on its own. So the colorway is Tourist Trap, and the base is Gnarly Marley Superwash. I'm calling this base Zebra Sock. Gnarly Marley Superwash sounds much cooler. So that's from Undercover Otter. And then we have this skein from Hypnotic Yarn, or Yarnable. It's from a Yarnable box, I guess. And it's plush sock fingering, 85-15, and that's really soft. And the colorway is Grape Crush. And this is so soft. I don't think this is going to be socks. It's too soft for socks. That might sound strange, but... And I love the colors. So I don't know what to use this yarn for, or this yarn. I might just hoard it for a while until I figure out what to do with it. But fiber swaps are so much fun. And I should do more fiber swaps because I just have to put that down. I have loads of stash that I bought and loved it and still love it, but I realize I'm never going to use it, so I should do more fiber swaps. Because it's, when you can't afford to buy a lot of yarn, it's a way of getting new yarn and happy mail. And who doesn't love some happy mail and some new yarn? Even though it's in a swap and I have to give away some yarn as well to get some new yarn. By the way, you should check out Echo's podcast, the Knitted Bin podcast. And she has a make-along running the Inclusion Mal. So you should check her out. And the only thing remaining to talk about is, let's see, how long have I been I'm reaching 30 minutes, so it's not that short, but I haven't got a lot of things to talk about. I can't imagine how people keep going for over an hour and doesn't repeat themselves. I'm blaming the brain fog, the fact that it's hot, and that nothing exciting ever happens here. I eat, sleep, knit, dye yarn, repeat. That's sort of what happens here. So I think there might be more recordings this summer because we're going away. We're going to Tromsø in July, and that's the only. This is a staycation for us. So the first colorway I'm going to put into the shop is my Himmel og Hav. That means sky and ocean. And I have that on Polldale and on Corriedale. As you can see, I have them on a zip tie, so I remember what's what. So this is Corriedale, and this is Polldale. That's that. Sorry, I got distracted. And then I have another summer colorway on Polldale. It's a different, it's not this color green. Greens on camera, hopeless. So I have that on Polldale and Merino, and it's called Summer Meadow. So that's that. And then I've dyed up a bit of Eton Mess. I have Eton Mess on Surrey Silk Cloud. This is one of my oldest colorways, by the way. So I haven't dyed Eton Mess in quite some time, but I've dyed up some this time. And I have Eton Mess on Polldale. It's a peachy pink with lots of speckles in different colors. And I've dyed up sock skeins, 2 different size sock skeins, sock sets. I have this 50 plus 20, 70 grams of Eton Mess with a hot pink mini as a contrast. And I've dyed up a sock set with 100 gram mini, and I'm telling you, brain fog, with 100 grams of Merino and 2 minis as a contrast. 2 other colors from the yarn itself. So that's what I have for this weekend's shop update. I was considering not putting it in the shop because of the market next weekend, but I decided I should just put it in the shop because I have to take pictures anyway. to put what's left in the shop. So if you love any of this, because small batch dyer, I'm not dyeing a lot of skeins of each colorway. So if you really loved any of that, you should get it this week. And now I'm repeating myself. So that's what I have for knitting and show and tell. And I should just can't think of an epilogue today either, but I've had some tangents on the way, and I think some of it has to be edited out. When I have brain fog like I have now, the editing always takes much longer because I have lots of tangents and things I say that are actually not doesn't make sense, and I have to cut it out. So I can start with an hour of recording and end up with a 30-minute podcast. So that's just what happens, I guess. I'm blaming menopause for the brain fog. Hopefully it's that and not something more serious. Brain fog is actually, I've checked, it's one of the things you can get when you're menopausal. You can get, I'm calling it brain fog. There's probably better words for it. I get it when I'm anxious. So it could be more pronounced this week because I'm extra anxious because I'm home alone. It can also be caused by me having too much social interaction. Brain fog or not, I'm going to put the AC up again and start editing this, and I'm sorry for the short episodes, but I feel I'm proud of myself for completing the podcasts and actually doing them. I've only been late once this spring, so I feel accomplished that I'm actually doing this every other Friday. It's not a big problem from day to day because I don't leave the house. I work from home. I only have to leave the house to go to the post office and check for mail, and then I go straight back home. So it's much easier talking to a camera than talking to actual people. I think there are loads of introverts that are podcasters that are secretly introverts because, as I say, it's much easier talking to a camera than talking to real people. So I'm going to stop rambling and start edit this. And hopefully there will be something left when I'm finished editing. And I'm going to record a bit next weekend at the market, I guess. So there might be a Ventus bag of holding next Monday, not the Monday coming, but the Monday after. There might be a Ventus bag of holding about the market this weekend. So that's it for this time. I hope you have a really nice weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.